Welcome, my friends. Welcome to Touching the Edge. Thank you so much for joining. I am so happy to see you today. Thank you for being part of this whole Coffee with Drake thing. I love it. I even got myself a pastry today. I'm enjoying a pastry while I'm hanging out with you. So happy to hang out with you because I'm delighted to hear about what you got going, and I'm wanting to share what I have going as well. It's, in such a dynamic time and such a tension-filled time, I think it's easy to miss that there's an opportunity in it. And that opportunity is for us to get to know ourselves better. Imagine this. Imagine you're walking on a long, long highway, and it's one of those days, maybe like a sweltering hot day, and you can see someone in the distance. They look almost small as they're coming towards you. And as you're walking towards them and they're walking towards you, you can see them sort of wavering with the heat. You come closer and closer, and as you get closer, they begin to become more clear. You're able to make up distinguishing elements. Clothes they have on, what race they appear to be, what gender they appear to be. As you get closer and closer, you actually realize that this person looks like you. And finally, you realize that this person is you. They are an exact reflection of who you are. You are walking towards yourself. And so this is this relationship to me that we have the opportunity to be in this time. We are under such dynamic tension that we have the opportunity to get deep within ourselves and to really become more ourselves. When you become more yourself, when you become more dedicated to your values, don't you think it's interesting when people become less who they are, when they get so caught up with the intensity, the roiling intensity of everything that's going on, that all of a sudden they lose the ability to have compassion and empathy. And so I actually think that this is really, really important. And so it's really helped me. And so I actually wrote a piece on our blog. It's called a new version of the classic man. That's the title. A new version of the classic man. And so it's interesting for me because I've been coming closer to myself throughout life, even as a kid, like all of us, trying to understand ourselves. Not so much telling people like decisions, but discovering your authenticity. And part for me was a whole long-term relationship with maleness, what it meant to be a man. And I think it was really important to me, and maybe a lot of you can relate to that. What did it feel like as you were a young man or a young woman or whatever your relationship to that identification might be? What did it feel like as you were moving towards it, not understanding yourself, beginning to understand yourself, understanding your sexuality, understanding your particular identity? And so it's very interesting to me because I didn't have male role models, and I was looking into the world and I had idealized versions of male role models. But I want to suggest to you right now that we need a new version of the classic man. I really am trying to manifest that. I really feel connected to being a strong male. A male who is exhibiting leadership, a male who is exhibiting confidence. But I think it's really important for us to be a new version of that, have a new version of that strength. I call it having strength behind soft hands. I used to be a massage therapist, and I noticed that when you give really deep massages, if you have rigid fingers, they hurt. But if you have soft hands, if you have gentle hands, you can actually put a lot of strength into the massage. It's a deep massage, but it feels so good. It's the same thing with leadership. When you have the ability to have a strength, a firmness, but having a real relationship to sensitivity, to deep listening, when you are really, really listening, you're stepping into what actors call good acting. A good actor is a good responder. So listening deeply and intently is what I call that new version of the classic male. Really bringing that strength and that confidence and that leadership, but having a relationship to that leadership that is deeply listening so that you're able to allow others to lead and not hobble other people, to allow them to shine and become as strong and as bright in their leadership as possible. To me, this new version of maleness is actually a relationship to wholeness, bringing ourselves into the whole, the yin and the yang, connecting with our intuition, but at the same time being in contact with that classic male strength. So to me, this is a new version of that classic maleness. And I suggest that whoever we are, male or female, whatever our identification is, that we're looking for that new version of what that male or female is today. not the calcified roles that were impressed on us at other points in our life, but at the same time, not remembering that we have things that we can learn from those people that, like the generation of the 40s, fighting in things like World War II, and living here in World War II and creating leadership. I think we have a lot to learn from those people, but we have a lot to offer. Every age, all this entire circle, coming back to this wholeness. And so this is what I'm talking about this new version of a classic maleness, us bringing a sense of wholeness into the world and meeting the challenge, not hiding from it, but at the same time really being confident that we're going to make our way through it, a solution-based version of leadership. Anyway, I'm interested in you. What do you think of male and female, ways of being? How can we step into what it means to be male and female today in a way that's confident and self-affirming, self-caring, but also not rigid and insistent that our way is the only way? Anyway, this is just my perception. I'm interested in yours. Thank you so much for joining. I love this. I love having coffee with you. Us having coffee together actually supports our mutual resilience. You know that? I'm going to ring the bell. Here we go. And I want to offer this to both men and women, fathers and mothers, daughters and sons. But for this moment, I'm talking particularly towards those good and strong men, those leaders, those teachers, those fathers. I bring my hands together and bow to all of those, the positive males. Namaste. Thank you.